Mic'd up.
Down we go. Welcome to Yankees Coast to Coast. To those of you who are Met fans, you are not welcome.
Just they're welcome.
We love all of you who have to wear orange uniforms. And
anyhow, on to the show, because we're going to try and keep it succinct
on to
today.
The show. This is it.
Yes, thank you. You are the frog from Warner Brothers. Anyhow, it is spring training, and you know what that means. Hope springs eternal. And it's time for baseball. Adam's favorite time of year.
Well, I used to like it before everybody got hurt.
Well,
it used to be fun because they played. Now you're lucky if they're healthy. Half of them come in broken. So I'm not happy about that.
Speaking of broken, here are the Yankee storylines so far in spring training that I came up with. And we'll go through them, but I want to just make my quickie list here. You ready? Obviously, the top story is Stroman. One, he's on the team, and two, I am a starter. Jake Cousins coming in injured. Giancarlo Stanton coming in injured after not swinging for a couple of months because he's got tennis elbow, which is a repetitive, or tendonitis, which is a repetitive movement disease. And I don't want to get into the opportunities for Stanton to get a repetitive movement disease that would hurt both of his elbows. Anyhow, Clark Schmidt, bad back. He was supposed to throw today, I think, or tomorrow. I don't know what the deal is, but he had general back soreness. And then the most recent big problem, and the guy that the Yankees were hyping up as the next great young pitcher, Chase Hampton, has a flexor strain, but Boone said it's likely a UCL issue. And then last but not least, something that happened today, Boone got a 2-year extension.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
So I think 2 years was the right move. I think, it wasn't a long-term 4-year deal, which means he's got this year and next year. And then if he doesn't do something in those 2 years, he'll be gone. There's Kevin Franzen on MLB Radio was saying that if he doesn't win a World Series, he's going to be gone. And I'm thinking to myself, possibly, I think that's correct. But he also said that if they don't win a World Series, Cashman's going to be gone. And I'm like, Cashman's never going to be gone. So he's never going to be gone. Anyhow, I know, the big one for you is Stroman. We talked a little bit about it last week. And, I like to compare the Stroman situation to the Rafael Devers situation. So,
well, Devers actually has talent in a career. The other guy is on the way down. He's still at his peak, though I still think it's just as stupid.
I think Devers is worse. I think Devers is worse.
I don't know what he thinks he's going to gain. He's got a $300 million contract. The idea that you're going to just, what is he possibly going to get out of this? Is it going to help him get more money? Are they going to not play him? Is he not going to honor his contract and not play? It's ridiculous. He's going to play wherever they tell him to play. He'll be put in a lineup and he'll play. What does he think he's getting out of this by being this guy?
This is what's interesting to me on Devers. Like you said, he has a 10-year, $313.5 million contract that he signed before the 24 season. So there's no place to go. But what I want to emphasize here is, okay, who's the guy that's going to change positions because it's for the good of the team? Bregman. Where did he play last year?
Houston.
Houston, yeah. What is Altuve doing in spring training? Where is he going to play because it's for the better of his team? Left field.
Yeah, that's right.
George Springer moved to right field when they needed him to move to right field on the Astros. And now he's moving to left field on the Blue Jays. And then, of course, you have Carlos Correa, who played shortstop for those Astros teams in 2019. But when he signed with Minnesota and they needed him to move, he moved to third base. So the cheating 2019 Astros clearly had something going for them because they all have decided that they're always going to do what's for the best of the team, whether it be cheating or changing positions. The Devers situation, which is even more crazy, reminds me of when Brett Gardner bitched and moaned when they moved him to left field. He went kicking and screaming, right? but Gardner wanted no part of left field when they first moved him. The other guy who's also changing positions and did throw a little bit of reluctance their way is Mike Trout. He was reluctant to
Hmm.
move to right field. He said he wasn't ready, but obviously they handled it a little bit better because Trout came out and said, I'm going to not only move to right field, Torrey Hunter is in camp, and I'm going to go talk to Torrey Hunter because he made the move from center field to right field. So there's a lot of guys out there that have been asked to move, and it goes to show you the winners move.
Yeah.
And Devers is supposed to be the leader of the Red Sox. They traded for Crochet. They signed Walker Bueller, and Odalis Chapman, as well as Bregman, because Devers bitched and moaned when they were letting all these guys walk and they traded away all these guys. So now they try and build a team around the guy, and what's the first thing he does? He bitches and moans. I think it's a bigger loser situation than Stroman because Stroman, like you said, he's at the end. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. He's toward the end. And he has money at stake,
Hmm.
right? He needs his 140 innings to make his 18-5 and 26. So at the very least, Stroman, while he still doesn't have very much leverage either, he at least, this is going to cost me money, guys. I don't like this. And on top of that, the Yankees are partially to blame for the Stroman situation because they didn't get him out of town. So the Stroman situation is not good. Stroman handled it poorly. No ifs, ands, or buts. As a matter of fact, yesterday there was a short story about the fact that he lost his home in the California fires. And one of the reasons that he wanted to be late, even though he wasn't late, was that he wanted to spend more time with his kids because of all the things that had been going on when he lost his house in the fires. But that died pretty quickly. So I don't know how true that story was.
And then share that. I mean, it's going to come out anyway. I know he
Right.
thinks he doesn't have to say it, but the problem that I have with it is the attitude of it, like the entitlement, the sense that what does he think he's going? And it's the same thing as I'm going to say with Devers in this regard. What does he think he's going to do? He's upset because he knows that if he's a reliever, he has no chance of getting
No chance.
140 innings. So that basically this is his way of saying, I'm not happy with that. Get me out of here. But by doing that, he hurts his chance of being of leaving because the Yankees lose leverage. When they have a player who's like this, the Yankees leverage is minimized. It's not destroyed. Nothing's worse than a stinky player. His biggest problem is he sucks.
He
That's
doesn't
probably
suck. He doesn't suck. He's just a number 4 or 5 starter making 18 million or
yeah.
18.5, which
I don't
is
know.
overpayment.
I saw a lot of decline second half of the year. He ran out of
Yeah.
gas. I don't know if he's going to have it back. I thought he was pretty awful last year in the second half of the year. But so the point is that's his big problem. The real problem the Yankees have with trading him is that they're going to have to try to sell him as a stopgap to somebody who needs pitching
But
badly. They
that's
don't.
what they had beforehand. I don't think
Yeah.
that I think it made it a little bit more challenging for the Yankees, but that was the same problem the Yankees had a month and a half ago or at the winter meetings is they were going to have to sell him to somebody as a stopgap no matter what happened. Now the Yankees, after they signed Fried, everybody knew that they had to get rid of Stroman because he's not a bullpen guy. I mean,
No.
in all reality, he's not a bullpen guy.
No, he
He's not
throws
wrong.
60
He's
miles an
not
hour.
wrong.
He has nothing. He has
He's not.
nothing
Yeah.
to get. He has nothing to show somebody in that circumstance.
Yeah.
So that's the point. He doesn't. What are they going to do? He's going to come in. They really need a crafty guy in the bullpen right now in this
Well,
day and age.
the Yankees, like I said, I've been saying for the last several shows and offline and online, is the Yankees need to deal him. The Yankees need to eat $8 to $10 million this year and make a deal with the team that they trade him to and say if he's on your team at June 30th of next season, which gives the other team a month to still trade him. If he's on your team June 30th, 2026, because he vested in 25, we'll give you another $8 million
Okay.
to offset his salary. But you can't trade him, and he has to be on your team on June 30th next year and vest during 25, because that way the Yankees, if he's pitching well and he vests, next year he comes back. Let the other team have some flexibility to trade him, in the month of July of 26. But the Yankees need to be creative here, and my feelings on creativity and Brian Cashman
It
doesn't
doesn't. It
exist.
does. It's a non sequitur.
Yeah.
So I think the problem that we're going to have here is, and I'm gonna put out a point. What have I been saying for the last month and a half in every show?
He's not going to be on the team.
Yeah, I actually am going to say now that I believe that 50% chance he's going to be on the team.
Oh, you changed.
I'm changing.
I've been at like 50-50 for some time. I might have jumped even to 70-30 that he'll be on the team. And that's only because I think the
I
Schmidt
think they're not going to be able to
acknowledgement.
trade him and not going to want to. I think the Yankees are going. Here's what's going to happen. We're already seeing injuries. These guys are all breaking down. Their UCLs are exploding in their arm while they're throwing. They're throwing batting practice to their 4-year-old kids, and their arms are blowing up because they're not built to do this. This is out of control. The injuries that we're seeing are so colossal because these guys are doing things that they've never had to do before, and it's just to the point. I'd love to have Joe on the call right now, but we've been hearing this for a long time. Baseball doesn't like to talk about it. It's a dirty secret, but the guys are not built to throw 100 miles an hour 30 times a game. It's not. It's just not. Maybe 1 or 2 times a game, maybe 10 times a game, but 30 times a game. That's insane. Right. Look at DeGrom. I mean, little guy who throws incredibly hard. They don't last. So, the thing about this is there's too many injuries to worry about now. I think Schmidt always worries me because he never can stay healthy. I don't think this is going to be the problem. I'm not as worried about it. Backs are annoying. Their bulky backs annoy you more than anything else. I'm worried about that, but
it could screw up his other mechanics, and that would then screw up his.
Yeah, I mean that's right. So that's exactly right. So to me, they're not now. I don't think they're going to. It's upsetting. This is why I wish they had, because then we wouldn't be having this conversation. We'd be filling the hole with some kid. Also, can I suddenly and vastly change the subject? Just because we only have 30 minutes tonight. By the way, folks,
segues are for kids.
Yeah, we're going to a new format, folks. We haven't even talked about it. We're going to shorten we decided to do 2 shows a week, one scheduled at our normal time for 30 minutes, and moving forward, we're going to go to pick up another time during the week when something cool happens. So I like that. I think it's a little more fluid, a little bit more off the cuff, a little more, just better for us. So, and better for you. But the thing is, I think that what's going to happen here is I find it very interesting that every camp, there's always the same guy. There's always some phenom pitcher that comes out of nowhere who throws 150 miles an hour. And all you hear about is how impressed they all are. And that this guy is going to be the one. They can't believe it every year. And I love it because I think the whole reason they do it is they want to trade him.
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, look at the Yankees. How many years now? They've been pushing Beater for how long now on us? And then Beater. And then
hasn't thrown like 7 innings in 5 years.
Then they pushed Will Warren on us last year, which I definitely block hook, line, and sinker. This year was Chase Hampton, and as soon as he gets hurt, they got Schlittler, which is kind of scary name to say in the New York metropolitan area. But now they're pushing Schlittler within 1 day of Hampton getting hurt. Just to go over the guys that are hurt, right? That got hurt this year. That aren't coming off an injury. So like Ohtani's coming off an injury. He's not coming back till June. He's not in this group. But guys who got hurt or came to camp hurt. On the Dodgers, you got Evan Phillips and Michael Kopech. On the Mets, you got Frankie Montas. On the Brewers, DL Hall, who was supposed to be their stud minor league guy coming into the rotation. He might be out for the season because they don't know what's going on with him. Trevor Rogers signed a contract and then hurt his knee in January. Alex Cobb signed a free agent contract with the Tigers. He has a right hip issue. Not to mention, non-pitchers. You got the annual Anthony Rondon issue because he's now out for the season. And I was surprised that the Cardinals are not playing in the Nolan Arenado world right now. But Anthony Rondon's out for the season. Spencer Horwitz was signed by the Pirates to be their everyday first baseman or traded from the Blue Jays to the Pirates to be their everyday first baseman. And now he had surgery. He's out for a bit. So this guy's getting hurt all over the place.
It's terrible. It's not I don't think it's
the pitchers.
I don't blame the Yankees. Yeah, well, because they're doing something that's but it's everybody. I don't blame. I don't think the Yankees do a good job of talking about it. Why don't the Yankees talk about this stuff when they hear that somebody's hurt before I'm sure they know about these guys. I always find it amazing. They always tell us the first day who's hurt. if you know about it, talk about it a few months earlier, so a couple weeks earlier, so that maybe you start talking up some other guys who might be in the mix. But then you scare the hell out of the fan base. Now the whole conversation this whole week has been Stanton and now it's Schmidt. It's annoying, but these guys, they're just breaking, and I guess it's a hard game. And listen, we play every Sunday. I feel terrible until Thursday. I play when I play. I'm a mess. I can barely move. My wife makes fun of me.
You're an old guy, and speaking of
well,
old
my
guys,
wife always says the same thing when we win. She always says, "Which home did you beat? The Hebrew home this week?" Which,
my mother was in the Hebrew home for rehabbing her knee. You laugh.
And that's the joke. She likes to say it at least once a week.
We do have somebody who's older than us. Matter of fact, he's older than your age and my age combined. He left us a message. Let's hear from Dr. Joe.
Hi, guys. 137-year-old guy right here. Watched my first game today between the Cubs and the Dodgers. Poteet got rocked today. He was in the trade with Bellinger. But as far as Stanton goes, I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think they can mix and match with everybody else on the team until he's ready to go again.
Wow. Coherent.
Thank you, Joe.
No delay.
Very rarely coherent. It's an unusually cogent conversation. The Alzheimer has been on. He must be taking his A1C or whatever that drug is.
What is it? Progenics?
Very, very.
What does he take?
Exactly.
Whatever it is.
Eugenics. That's right. Eugenics.
Yes, so I will say this though, with Dr. Joe, he is one of the people that Elon found, that's 137 years old collecting Social Security, but he's alive. Barely, but he's alive.
That barely. But we're very proud of Joe. We're proud of Joe because Joe actually pushed the button. We're just impressed that he actually knows how to turn on. What was that?
But he doesn't have tendonitis like Stanton does. He thinks Stanton's not going to be an issue. I don't know. I mean, you never know with Stanton, right? He's not known to be a fast healer.
No.
It's not a leg issue.
Not soft tissue. It's not soft tissue, is it?
Well,
isn't it elbow? Isn't it
soft tissue? Isn't tendonitis is a muscle in your arm or tendon in your arm? That's soft tissue.
Okay,
it's not a
bone. It is soft tissue. Okay, never mind.
I don't know. He yelled at me the other day because I didn't realize cortisone was a steroid.
Oh, he got very emotional. Joe,
yes,
what happened to you? I've never heard you use you said, I think he dropped an F-bomb. Never.
Was it an F-bomb? Yeah, I was like, Joe, I thought cortisone was just an anti-inflammatory. I didn't realize it was a steroid. But
yeah, he was very upset.
Dr. Joe would let me know. But yeah, I mean, I'm a little worried about Stanton. I'm worried about.
All right, I'll tell you why I'm worried about Stanton. I'm going to give you my Stanton opinion. Stanton, Michael Kay touched upon this the other night. Stanton's going to go down for 60 games. So I guarantee he's going down for 60 days. If it happens now, it's still going to happen in July. So if he's down for a month now because he can't get himself back out on the field until May, then he's still going to have another 60-day spout. So we're looking at maybe we're looking at a 40 or 50 game year, which is very, very troubling. Now, he'll come back and hit 900 in the playoffs. It's great. But my worry about Stanton isn't that this is such a concern. It's that it's happening now. And we know it's not like others. Get the injuries out of the way. With Stanton, it's coming. It's going to happen. It's going to happen when they need him most, and it's going to be hard. You don't want to lose him twice. Once is bad enough. Twice is catastrophic for his season. And it will hurt them. It'll hurt them a lot. That's a big bat that they need.
Well, here's his games played as a Yankee since 2018 when he came over, right? 158 games in 18. 18 and 19, 23 and 20, but that was the the COVID year, right? So he played 23 of 60 games, 139 games in 21, 110 games in 22, 101 games in 23, and 114 last year. So he's going to play between 100 and 125 games. He's going to miss 40 games for either rest or injury. So the question then becomes, do we sit him down now if I'm the Yankees and worry about everything later? The worst thing the Yankees can do, as far as I'm concerned, would be to sit Stanton and then move Judge to DH and take him out of the outfield, especially since he's playing right field now. The other thing that would be very bad for the Yankees is if they take him out of they take Stanton out of the lineup, and instead of letting Dominguez play left field, which I still think he should be playing center field, letting Dominguez play left field, move him into the DH slot, which is be a horrible decision. But it also would tell you the Yankees don't think he can play the outfield in left field. And if the Yankees don't think he can play left field, they better trade his butt out of here before his value goes down to nothing. I would love it if he does go on the IL for a bit. Give the youngsters a chance to play by moving Bellinger around. Give a guy like Pereira a chance to play a little bit.
Yeah.
Give a guy like Peraza a chance to play a little bit more if he's not going to be playing third base because DJ's screwing that up for everybody.
Odd.
Well, have
you heard anything about how?
I don't want to see Grisham in the lineup every day. That's for darn sure.
But that's the worst case scenario. If you are, let's just say, they lose an outfielder, and well, here's the problem with Stanton. Stanton goes down, Judge goes and becomes the DH.
That's
probably
stupid.
half the, because they're going to think it's a way, but they always do that. They're going to think it's a way to cool him down, to keep him easy on his body. And then the problem is, guess who's your center fielder all of a sudden? You've got who
Grisham.
Plays right field at that point? Grisham.
Bellinger
goes to right field. Grisham goes to center field, and we've got 2 months of Grisham playing every other
Which
week,
is why
every
I think
other game.
Pereira should be the guy. Pereira should have the chance to take the job. I mean, that's the whole thing. And even if they platoon Pereira with Grisham, lefty righty, that would be something. Grisham, he's a center fielder. He's not going to play the corner outfield slot. So we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, here we go. Joe Ostie. It looks like he cursed, and his comment is in yellow, but we're going to try and play it.
I think he forgot.
Let's see.
I want to look and see. I'm going to look back at my texts.
No, Ostie got.
By the way, I never use the F word to describe Mike, and I use dumbass.
We always do.
And if I remember correctly, Adam, you agreed with me. So there.
That's not true.
I absolutely agree. No, he's right. I agree.
I agreed with him that I am a dumbass.
No. We're going to go back and look at this.
A little harsh.
All right, I'm looking up dumbass.
I am a dumbass, but that was not one of the things I was a dumbass about.
All right, the funny thing about dumbass is that I actually have it here.
I have it too, but I'm not looking
in text, so I want to. There it is. Okay. This is too funny.
So yeah, he said I was a dumbass. He definitely called me a dumbass.
All right.
I said I'm a dumbass. Just ask my wife; she'll tell you.
Here it is. He said,
"You're doing well here. Let's go."
I don't know where it is. I'm wasting our time.
Yes, you're just wasting our time.
Cortisone is a steroid, dumbass. All right, cortisone shots not preferred over steroids. Either way, he does not heal quickly. And cortisone is a steroid, dumbass. And he said, didn't know that. Thank God. Why so angry, Joe? And he said, I know you're 137, but your senility, it's never prompted anger.
That's what I wrote to him.
And then I said, and then you went, I'm not angry. Sorry it came off that way. Probably some dementia setting it at 137. I said, no, you're right on the dumbass, Joe. All good. No dementia there.
But didn't I agree with him that I was a dumbass right after that? I love I agreed. So I'm
not
going to argue with him.
This is how bad this show is going. We're talking.
People.
What?
I've been called a lot worse by a lot better people.
This is true. This is absolutely true. So listen, Joe, great point. Always helpful. We love you. What about our friend Tyrone?
No, we can't play that one.
Why?
It's got nothing to do with anything. It sounds like Tyrone butt dialed us. So Tyrone
Let's
butt
play
dialed
it
us, and
just
I
for
don't really
fun.
want to hear about
Come
his
on.
sister's
I love
agony.
that stuff. I love the little fun moments that we can make fun of. Go ahead. Let's play.
Go ahead, play it. I played it already because I was like, what is that?
Alright, so today I have my sister agony. Alright, here we go. What else today? Alright.
You know,
What's our favorite shoe game?
undoubtedly the smartest guy we've talked.
Well, he's the most mature.
Who's the
Clearly the most mature guy.
All right, let's stop. Bye, Tyrone. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't even know anybody. I know one guy named Tyrone, but I don't know.
And can you tell me how he did it? How do you make that mistake?
He has to have the app open. He has to have,
and then he has to actually push
and
down.
He has to hit the record button.
Think about this ridiculousness of this process. Half the people that we know, and probably 90% of the people, are incapable of doing this by volition. and this kid, who we don't know, by mistakenly butt dialed our live button.
Yes, way to go! Gotta like Tyrone. So anyhow, the only other thing that's left to talk about is what do you
in our last 2 minutes.
What do you think about the Boone extension?
Whatever. Give him his 10 years, and then they'll just, they seem to have this thing about 10 years, and I don't know why they have this thing. Listen, he does fine. Is he a great mind out there? Does he do amazing things that just awe-inspire? But who does anymore in this game? It's all run by we always talk about it's all run by the front office anyway. So who cares? Get a guy in there who's relatively nice looking. He looks good on camera. He has his bottle of water with him every time. He always
2 watches. He's got 2 watches.
I love he's always got his little notes. I love his little crib sheets. He comes in and he's just like, and he looks happy, And when he's not, he's not. Do I love the work? No. Do I love the body of work? No. Do I like the outcome of the seasons? I think he does win a lot of games, or they win a lot of games for him. They just don't win ones that we really want them to win. But that's, they seem to feel it doesn't matter.
Like I said, 2 years seems like the right amount. There's really no managers out there. Not that we're experts on the field, but it's not like the Yankees have anybody coming up through the system that can manage or anything like that. If they wanted to hire Mattingly, that would be a good hire to me. But maybe a Walt Weiss. But
what's going to happen with Mattingly, right? Mattingly will be the first manager after Cashman retires. When Cashman either leaves or goes up, then he'll bring. Because he's always said that he'll be the one. He'll be vilified for the rest of humanity if he fires Don Mattingly. Can you imagine? So maybe that's it. But
he does a great job.
I think Mattingly's their next manager. I could see that if he doesn't have another job. Mattingly is.
Well, right now, he's a bench coach in Toronto still.
Yeah, and that's a quick step into a management job. So I don't know. I think that'll happen. I don't care. I just call somebody out this season. Now that you've got your long-term lease here, call out your players once. Don't let Glaber happen again. No more Glabers. He enabled Glaber for so long that Glaber's now going to Detroit. I guarantee you they're not happy with already his defense in Detroit.
No.
And their
other choice is Javi Baez over there, and they're certainly not happy with Javi Baez.
Yeah. So anyway, I think we're done.
Yes, we all put a fork in us.
Good show. I like short and sweet. I'd love to know if people feel the same. So,
well, Joanne's always complaining you're so quick. Anyhow, I will say to everybody, stay out of trouble, or at least don't get caught, because it's more fun that way. And we'll speak to you as soon as next Thursday or earlier.
And remember, YouTube. We're on YouTube.
Yes,
you can find channel. Mike spends like at least 30 hours a week putting us up on.
Hey, we get 300 views on YouTube. We're increasing.
Keep it up. Britney's
got to keep posting.
We're almost up to Britney Spears now. We're almost as popular as, soon we're on our, I got to tell you, we're only getting bigger and better. It's impressive. You're doing a good job, man.
I'm
Thank
losing
you.
weight. Goodbye.